Shalom. Oh, are you working? Hello everyone. So, starting with the declutter, I'm starting with my palettes and like stuff in these drawers over here. So, let's get into it. This is stuff I'm gonna keep, just an FYI. First off, we have like the Naked Remember Decay one. I have barely touched this, but I have to keep it just because these shimmers are so good. I know it's probably expired, but I'm not one to really care about expired makeup. Next we have the Tarte Let. The only shade I really dipped into was Force of Nature, but I used this heavily, especially like during my sophomore year, so I'm going to keep it. Off Glam, which has been utterly destroyed. I need to clean my palettes, but keeping. Now we have the Morphe. This is a 35.0, I want to say? Yes. And of course, we keep this, even though I don't use it often. I am going to be dividing these into like what I'm taking to college and what I'm leaving here. So I'm going to be keeping this. This is the first palette I ever got, and it's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I actually think I'm going to toss it just because I know it is so expired. It's been well over 12 months. So I'm probably going to toss this, and it's really sad, but I don't really use it anymore. And every shade in here I have like in another palette. So next, I think this is the 35W. Let's open her up. Yes, I use this really often for fall looks. You guys with my fall makeup tutorials always see me dip into this, so I'm keeping that for that reason. And this one is the Jaclyn Hill original palette, and I'm keeping it just because the pigmentation is so pretty, and I really love it. And it's an OG, and I really enjoy all the color schemes and the story in this. Of course, you knew this one was coming. It's so dirty because I use it so often. I am definitely keeping the James Charles palette just because I support James through all this mess going on. And it's such a good palette. I use it every day. No joke. If not more than once a day. Even though the colors are staying very nicely. But I use that all the time. I'm going to keep this one. It's a one I got from Hot Topic just because I love Supernatural. So it's going to be more of like a display thing. And of course I'm keeping the Warrior by Juvia's mostly because it's so pretty, and I just got this palette. It's like the one I most recently got. I'll be keeping this one, which is Modern Renaissance. Very pretty palette, and I love it so much, and it's just so pretty. I'll be keeping all of these. I have the Makeup Revolution Reloaded palette. So pretty. I'm probably taking that one to college. Both of my Kathleen Lights palettes I'm keeping. You guys know I use these every day, just, you know, for some very pretty shades. Honestly, this one's getting attacked a lot, but I used to use that every day. And then this one, I just got the NYX Away We Glow palette. My brother got it for me, and it is so pretty, so I'm definitely keeping that, mostly because I haven't touched it yet. I have a drawer full of, like, shimmers and, like, single shadows that I'll go through. I'm tossing my glitter glue just because it is so dried up. I have to get more. Right now I usually just use eyelash glue for all my glitters, but I should probably not be doing that. Is a High Curry pigment in the shade Fierce. I'm probably going to toss this just because I haven't dipped into it yet, and I have just shades like this in like every other palette. My Princess, something like this, I'm going to toss this just because I never use it. I have two NYX glitters that I'm going to be keeping just because they are so nice. I love how awesome they go on. They just go on so eloquently. And then I have 3 Sephora glitters, which I'm all going to be keeping. They just, again, they're almost as good as the NYX ones. And as you can see, I've used the green so much, especially for holiday looks. And these are just perfect. I feel like I'm going to give this one away. I haven't really used it at all. But it's just, I have, again, this shade in so many other palettes. I'm going to be tossing this. This I got in like 2014. It's the Heart of Gold single. I have this shade in so many other palettes. That's the reason for most of the tossing. This, oh my gosh, these look exactly like, no joke. Let me just open this. Like, this one might be foiled more, but those look a lot alike. But the Tetris collection was cute, but I'm not gonna toss it. This Catrice eyeshadow I'm gonna toss just because I've seen it thousands of times before. I am keeping this Dual Pixie eyeshadow just because I feel like it's so buttery and luminous. It's just, I really like it, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm also going to be keeping this Glamour powder from Colored Rain Cosmetics. It's just so buttery and goes on so nice. I'm also going to keep this lilac shade called Alien Love Child from Space Case. I just feel like it's really pretty and I use it a lot. What's the Tea is almost the perfect transition shade for me, so I'm going to keep it. And you guys can probably see how much I've used it, but honestly, keeping this. And also, this gold is just the prettiest gold ever, so I'm going to keep it. It reminds me a lot of like ancient Egyptians kind of looks. This one, I don't know. It's, honestly, this powder, I don't think I can give it up just because it's such a powerful powder. Like, you tap it on and you'll see it. So I think I'm going to keep the Naked Cosmetics powder. See, I have so many of these golds, so I'm going to give this away. Foiled again. See, we've come across like 3 silver grays that honestly all look the same to me, so I'm going to toss that. We have this Seraphine Botanic Powder, and it's a bit darker than the Naked Powder, so I'm going to keep it just because I feel like it can add dimension to that. It's an eyelash case that I don't use. I'm going to toss all of these eyelash cases just because I don't use them. Ugh, ugh. And like, they're crusty. Ugh. And then have a keychain in here. And I have 2 sets of purple lashes, which I'm going to be using for a look soon, so I'm going to be keeping those. The last thing I have over here, and I'm sad to say it, I have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Equality lipsticks. I want to get rid of this container just because I don't support Jeffree anymore with all the recent drama. But I don't have a place to put the rest of the Equality set, and I'm eventually going to be painting over the logos on all this. I haven't really touched them yet, but I'm going to, and they're perfect for like big rainbow looks, so I'm going to keep it, but I'm hopefully going to switch out the packaging soon. Alrighty, I have the rest of all my makeup down here. You know, I am a makeup hoarder, so this is going to be tough, but I'm ready to get rid of some of it. So first I'm going to start with eyeliners. I have a separate container for all my eyeliners, and we'll toss some out. I actually used to draw my fake freckles, so I'm going to keep, I use both ends just to do that. This I'm going to toss. It's more like a hair crayon, but it's too big to use for anything else, and I already have green eyeliner, so I'm going to toss it. I'm going to keep, it's a pink pencil eyeliner. It's really good for under eyes, so I'm going to keep it. I'm tossing my e.l.f. liquid liner just because it leaves such an ugly green residue after it like wears off. That's hard to get rid of, so I'm going to toss it. I'm keeping my Better Than Sex eyeliner just because it's so good, even though this one's starting to dry out, so I might have to toss it soon. But it is really good for it has really nice precision, even though the bristles tend to break off a little bit. Just got this gold eyeliner from, I think it was Maybelline. Yeah, so I'm keeping it. This eyeliner is worn to the quick. It is the Sex Kitten pencil liner. I think it's pencil. But I'm going to toss it. It's got this rose gold eyeliner, and it works like a dream. It's so pretty, so I'm keeping it. This one I need to sharpen, but honestly thinking I have so many black eyeliners. Do I really need to keep this one? It's a really good one, so it's pigmented. I'll keep it. This jumbo white milk pencil from NYX, I'm definitely keeping. I use this every day on my lower lash line. Yeah, that's what it's called. And with this Sex Kitten liner from Tarte, the actual liquid version, I use it every day. And then we have this one, which is a blue eyeliner from Avon. There's so much product left in that. I could not toss it with a clear mind, and it works pretty well. These 2 I'm going to keep. They are the NYX Liquid Brights. Again, I just got them in my graduation present, so I'm keeping them. I'm keeping this blue pencil liner, blue and green dual. Same with this, just because they are very pretty for under lower lash line looks. I can't talk. And this is the green I was talking about. So I'm going to keep that just because I tossed my other green. So you might think this is pink, but no, it is a brilliant, brilliant blue. And I use this so often for like my, you know, crazier looks, so I'm going to keep that. And then this is just a thicker black liner. If I ever want a thicker wing than my Sex Kitten gives me, I use this one and it works perfectly, so I'm keeping that. Now onto the mascaras. I'm keeping all the mascaras, but I'll just go into detail about what I have. This is the Rocket. I use it every day. I did have another mascara, but it just died. I also have the I got these off of Amazon, the Q-Best Volumizing Mascara. It came in a big color set, so this kind of just gives me a bit more oomph on the bottom. And then I have a white primer, CoverGirl Lash Blast Amplifying Primer. I use this as my white mascara in case I ever want like a white look, but also it's a really good primer. As you see, it comes on white, and if I want, I can just leave the white on to make my eyelashes kind of look more, I don't know, invisible. And this is one, I think I got this from H&M. It's a lilac mascara, and I'm going to keep it. And then all of these were in that color set I was talking about. I just threw one. I have this really pretty midnight blue, a seafoam green, a regular blue, a yellow, a pink, and a red. All of these perform so well, so I'm going to be keeping all of those. Again, not really tossing any of the mascaras just because I just recently got that color set and there's no reason to toss them. Let's get on to lipsticks. This one I want to toss just because I think I'm going to give it to my mom, actually. Again, I don't support Jeffree Star anymore, but it is a pretty good lipstick, so I'm probably just going to give this to my mom just because there's so much left. This is a really beautiful, beautiful red. I use it whenever I need a red lipstick, so I'm going to be keeping it. Plus, it smells like cake. This I'm going to be tossing, even though it has such a nice milky consistency. I have so many liquid suedes, and honestly, actually, I'm probably going to keep this because there's a matching one in my mini set that I'm going to be tossing, but I guess I'll keep this. I'm a hoarder. This one, even though it's not my color, the pigmentation is just so, so good. So I'm going to be keeping the Jolly Cosmetics lipstick. And this Ophir one is not my color at all, but I tend to use it a bit on my eyes, so I'm keeping it. I use this Kylie as my go-to dark lipstick, the punk one, so keeping it. These are my two Kat Von D shades. Now, Kat Von D is very, 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 like, I don't support her at all, but I'm going to be keeping this one. I don't know if this one's dried up at all. This one's pretty dry, so I'm going to be tossing this one. And then I have these Victoria's Secret lipsticks. I'm going to be tossing this one. I don't know what shade it is, but it's just, it doesn't work anymore. It's very dried up and crusty. I don't know if you guys can see some of the crust on it. It's just crusty. Pink, I'm going to give to my mom just because I don't wear it anymore. It's called Magnetic. Oh my gosh, I can't read. But it's still very creamy, but I feel like my mom would get better wear out of this. And this one is a very pretty dark. It's called Drama, so I'm going to keep it. I use this plumper every day. It's the Victoria's Secret Almost Nude Lip Plumper. I use it every day, so I'm definitely not tossing it. And this Kylie I use a lot, so I'm keeping it. This one is in Kristen. Twisted Lips pencil is down to the quick, so I'm going to be tossing that. Twisted Kisses. Okay, had to switch out a battery because it died, but that's okay. So I'm also going to be keeping this Metallic Glow Victoria's Secret lipstick. I use this whenever I just don't want to put anything on my lips and just want a bit of a gloss. So I use this all the time. I've had these baby lips for like so long. I'm just going to toss them because I don't use them anymore. So they're getting tossed. I forgot to mention, here's another eyeliner I'm keeping. It's the NYX White Blanco. It's kind of like the milk pencil, but it's more liquid. Also keeping this MAC lip glass. It's just really pretty for darker looks. This Urban Decay lipstick I am keeping just because I haven't really touched it yet. It is so, so, so pretty. Look at that. I think I got it in a sample thing, and it's just, I'll have to dig into it eventually, but it's so, so pretty. I'm going to be keeping this Melted Latex lipstick, even though I hate the formula, just because I haven't really used it yet. Same with this other one. I hate the formula and how sticky it is. I actually put essential oils in here to make them smell better, but... And this Melted Matte I'm keeping just because it looks so pretty. And I'm going to be keeping these melted lipsticks as well. I'm going to be tossing this lip stain just because I've used basically all of it. And I'm tossing this Too Faced Liquid Lip Plumper just because it's basically, it hurts, and it's just, and I've used most of it. Keeping this lip crayon just because I just got it. Same with this Tarte H2O gloss. And this nude is honestly, you can see how much I've used it. Honestly, the perfect nude. Smells so good. Keeping this. This crayon I'm going to toss, or give to my mom probably. It's an Ulta crayon. As you see, I just opened it. I don't really reach for it all that much, but I'm not much of a lip crayon person. It's just not something I go for. And I'm going to give my mom the Butter Balm Gloss from Ulta. I'm not much of a pinky person if you can't tell. This I'm going to be giving to my mom the Pop Liquid, it's just a lipstick, but don't use it enough. This. Oh, I'm keeping this. This is a Kat Von D lipstick. Again, not much of a fan, but I got it for like $7. It's the studded lipstick, and it's in the darkest shade possible. I think it's called Neon, something like that. So I'm keeping that. This nude is really pretty for travel, so I'm going to be keeping that. And it's from, I don't know, something. Oh, this is a pretty nude too. I'm going to be keeping that. It's from Context. These glosses I'm going to be giving to my mom just because I don't use them enough, and I feel like maybe I've used them too much and I just haven't reached for them in a while. I don't know, but they're going to my mom. Keeping this beautiful brown lipstick. I feel like it's perfect for a fall look. It's from Real Her, Sorry Not Sorry. That's a really pretty shade, so I'm going to keep that. Move on to my other lipsticks. I'll go through the lip liners real quick. Some of these can double as eyeliners, I bet. This is kind of worn down to the bottom, so I'll toss that. This one is very sharp, so I'll keep that. Keeping this dual-sided one from Ulta, from Buxom. I use them a lot, so I'm going to be keeping all of the Buxom ones. Keeping all of my brow products. Oh, here's the other one. The Anastasia Brow Pomade, and then my Glossier Boy Brow. They just fit so well together. And I also have this Vanilla Bean Noel Lip Gloss from Bath & Body. I'm keeping it, might as well. Here's our other lipsticks. Most of these are from Buxom, or NYX.
This one's kind of dried up. What shade is it? I don't even know. Oops. Now this is such a pretty, it's from Chianti, Glitter Flip. I'm going to be keeping this. This is such a gloss. I'm going to be keeping it. Same with this one. I don't think it's butter gloss though. It's lip cream, but it's not really my shade, but I feel like I can make it work. I'm going to be tossing this glitter lipstick just because it just dried up, even though it's so pretty. This purple I'm going to be keeping because I don't really have anything like it. The butter gloss I'll be keeping, even though I've seen it before. I'm going to be keeping this just because I haven't really used it yet. It's really, really pretty. I'm going to be tossing this lip primer on. It's kind of seen better days. Let's look at this tiny sample. Oh, it's cute. I'm going to be keeping it. It's from Sugar Cosmetics, I think. This gray, I don't have anything like it, so I'm for sure keeping this. Next, these little tartlets. This one has a bit of pigment left. It's probably going to get tossed soon after I wear it down. And same with this one. Little travels. Okay, this one has a bit of pigment left. It's probably going to get tossed soon. It's the Mellow Matte Liquid Paint. And this one is from Mana Cosmetics. It's still very smooth and creamy, so I'm keeping it. The reason my lip products are like relying on staying based on if they're still, you know, in good like condition. This one's not. It's kind of dried up, so I'm going to toss it. Let's look at this. This is another Mana product, and it's very creamy, so I'm going to keep it. A Wet n Wild lipstick. I'm going to toss it just because I haven't used it in forever, and I think this is probably expired. This red lipstick I'm definitely keeping. It's very, very pretty. Let's check out this NYX Butter Gloss. It's definitely good. Have this e.l.f. Ooh. See all the damage on the top, but I'm going to keep her. Next is another Butter Gloss. I'm going to keep it. And I'll keep this, even though I don't really like pink stuff. I feel like I can use it for a neon look. What are you? Mary Kay. You still got some pigment, so I'll keep you. Keeping this lipstick. Keeping this butter gloss. This one's dried out the soft matte lip cream, so I'm going to toss it. And I'm going to keep this lipstick. Now on to the Buxom products. I'm going to be keeping this pretty, pretty lipstick. It's not a lipstick, it's a lip gloss, and it's just clear. It's kind of tainted a little bit, but I think it's really pretty. Next, this one, this is called Amy. I feel like it looks pretty, so I'm going to keep it. Most of these glosses I'll keep. This one is called Celeste, and it's gorgeous, so I'll be keeping her. Then we have Claire, Star, and Jasmine, which I'm all going to be keeping. Then more. Some of these are matte, some of these are glitters. I'm going to be keeping Mudslide and Hot Toddy. Also going to be keeping Cherry Flip and Kayla. And then I'm going to be keeping Stacy and Berry Bramble.
So let me get out some. I'm going to do the highlighters next just because they wanted to be done because they jumped out at me, but that's fine. I'm going to keep this Too Faced one just because we've been through thick and thin together and there's still a bit more pigment in there. But this Too Faced one, it's perfect for like alien looking looks. Sadly, I'm going to toss my Ofra highlighter from Star Island. It's just, there's nothing there. So I'm going to just toss it. Fairy Dust highlighter I'm going to keep. This is actually a pressed shimmer, which I use on my eyes all the time in the shade Turbo, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to give my mom this highlighter, the Essence Pure Nude one, just because it's too dark for me. Be keeping the Moonchild Anastasia kit just because I use it. Be giving my mom the e.l.f. shimmer kind of thing. I don't use it enough. I'm going to be keeping both of these liquid highlighters. Be tossing this highlighting stick. I'm going to be keeping this highlighter from Daisy and Pearl. Keeping this highlighter from Space Case. Keeping this other highlighter from Ofra, which is Covent Garden, so very pretty. Next, I'm going to do face products. I'm going to be tossing this because, as you can see, it's empty. I think this is empty too, so I'm just going to toss this foundation as well. I just got this. I use it whenever I, actually do foundation, which is not often, so I'm keeping this one. Juvia's Place. Keeping these two concealers. This is my Fenty Beauty one and this is my Jouer one. And I'm almost out of this sample. It's a Yenza BC concealer, so I'm going to use this until it is gone. And I'm going to keep this Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. Now onto primers. I'm going to be keeping this e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I'm almost done with this and then I'll toss it. It's the Pores Be Gone Matte Primer with Fig Extract from Hello Fab. I'm actually going to give it to my mom. It's the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I just don't use it anymore and it doesn't really work with my eyes. I'm almost done with this Ulta Eye Primer and then I'll toss it. And of course I'm keeping my P. Louise bases just because they work so well. If you guys don't have P. Louise bases, get them. Now onto face powders. I'm going to be keeping this Fenty Beauty one. This is what I use whenever I do use a face powder. I'm going to be keeping the Fit Me as well just because it's a cheap alternative. My mom the Coty Airspun powder just because I don't want to waste it. I'm keeping this sample from YC Cosmetics. And this is like the only face powder I use, so I'm definitely keeping this. I have this blush and bronzer duo. I'm going to keep. It's a Pixie blush. I'm going to toss just because it is shattered, so can't use it. Keeping the Space Case blush. I actually think I'm going to give this to Josh, or I'll give this one. It is the Sugar blush. I'm going to keep these and give one of them to Josh. Keeping this Too Faced blush just because it works really well to bring out my complexion. keeping this GG Gorgeous blush. This blush I use every day. It is a Tarte sample, but it's so good. Now onto bronzers and contours. I'm going to be tossing this Too Faced one. Honestly, I only kept it because I used like some of it, but I'm never going to use that darker side, so I'm going to toss it. Keeping this other Too Faced bronzer just because there's still some pigment in there. Keeping this Over Cosmetics bronzer, as well as this Tarte sample, which I use all the time. And I'm just going to show you guys what I use. I'm not tossing these, but I use the Drunk Elephant polypeptide cream before all of my primers, just so I have a nice smooth base, and I use the All Nighter setting spray, so I'm going to be keeping with those. I think that's all of my makeup products. I decluttered quite a bit, especially for me, because, you know, I keep all of my makeup all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!